What's up guys, and welcome back to another SBC pack opening. Today we will look at one of the remaining league SBCs that I have still open, and that is the Liga NOS. In the Liga NOS we will get the special Jonas card, 87 rated striker from Benfica, and an additional 30,000 coins. Now, obviously this challenge has been around for quite a while. It was one of the opening challenges when FIFA 17 was released, but I haven't done it yet. I had some of the players in my team already, but now I was thinking that, okay, let's complete this challenge once and for all, and also complete the teams that I still have open. I did do 2 teams already, that is Porto and Benfica, because those players, you just pull them constantly, but the other 16 clubs, I still have them yet to complete. Now, I did go out and buy all the players that I needed, and overall I did pay 43,000 coins for those players that I still had to buy. But obviously the overall rewards for this challenge, excluding the Porto and the Benfica pack, for me are worth 135,000 coins, so almost 100,000 coins value on top of our investments. So this challenge will definitely be worth it. Plus the 30,000 coins that you get for the overall challenge, basically our investments wasn't 43,000, just 13,000 if you net it with the overall coin reward. So with the 16 packs we only have to make up 13,000 coins, which I think is not too hard. So with that said, let's jump into the individual challenges. I'll let you know a little bit about the individual requirements if they are interesting and worth mentioning, and then obviously we will also open the packs. The first team, Aruca. One of the teams where you need 11 players. Not every team in this league needs 11 players, but overall a pretty general requirement set. So just the overall rating and the chemistry, basically the ones you need to look at for this one. We get a premium silver players pack for this one, and let's move on to Belenenses. Belenenses is the only team where I had to pay more than the reward is worth. There's a lot of silver players in here. Some of them go for like 1,000 to 2,000 coins, and I had to buy a couple of them, so a little bit more investment than we get as a reward. But obviously the overall picture matters, and this challenge, the Liga NOS challenge overall, will definitely be rewarding. In terms of the requirements, nothing special here, just the rating and the chemistry. So let's hand that in for a 2 rare gold players pack and move on to Boa Vista. Boa Vista, one of the Portuguese clubs that was pretty successful a couple of years ago, has dropped a little bit in the national competition as of late, but this challenge rewards us with a silver pack and an additional 1,000 coins. And as you can see, the overall rating and the chemistry shouldn't be an issue if you have you need a couple of gold players, couple of silver players, but then you can use players totally out of position, like here with this 95 chemistry requirement. You basically have 1 joker card, and for me that is usually one of the goalkeepers, because they usually go for they don't increase in price that much. Next up is Braga, also one of the teams that has played in European competition a couple of years. Again, no special requirements, so the special requirements will come up soon, but in this team 63 rated team is required. One of the higher requirements in terms of rating in this league. Chemistry 95, just business as usual. Half gold, half silver team, not a problem at all. And again, a 2 rare gold players pack, plus in this case 2,000 extra coins. Next up is Chavez, and in Chavez we'll see another team where you need 11 players. I didn't have a lot of them, but surprisingly these players aren't too expensive. Most of them you can get them for around 500 coins, plus or minus 200 I think is the average range that I paid for most of the players that I still had to buy. 68 rating required, 95 chemistry, no problem in this case as well. And obviously if you need to complete those teams, try to play around with position changes, especially changing strikers to center attacking mids or vice versa. Usually gives you a nice chemistry boost, and obviously you can also save costs that way, because sometimes the strikers are just super expensive. So just use a center mid or center attacking mid, convert him to a striker, because the conversion is sometimes cheaper than buying the more expensive player. Next up we have Estoril, and Estoril has one of the requirements that you will see coming up quite a bit here. You don't need a full Estoril team. In this case you only need 5 players from Estoril, and the rest of the team you can basically fill up with random Liga NOS players. So what I did in this case, and also for the other teams, I bought cheap Benfica, Porto or Sporting players, because those players usually have a high rating, so the rating requirement here isn't an issue at all, and also they're not too expensive because people pull them constantly. So we have a gold Porto goalkeeper. We have Brian Ruiz as Sporting player in here, and a bunch of others, a Benfica centre back and another Porto midfielder, I think. So these teams are usually not too expensive if you still have to complete them. We had a premium goal players pack, one of the better packs in this league squad building challenge. There are a couple of silver packs in here, so the packs aren't the greatest, but obviously, as I've said before, the investments required aren't too big either, so I guess that's a fair trade-off. Next up is Firenze, and in this case you only need 3 players of the team, so that's super easy, I guess, to achieve. And again, the rest you can just fill them with the random players from the league. So you can see 2 Porto players here, 2 Benfica players up here, another Benfica as my right back. Not a problem at all. And we get a premium silver pack in this case, plus 300 coins. Not sure why they add 300 coins on top. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but obviously I'll take it gladly. Let's submit this team and move on to the next pack. We should be halfway through these challenges by now, I think. Maritimo is next. Again, one team where you need the entire team to be from Maritimo. 69 rating is required. In this case, not a problem, and we get a regular gold pack plus 500 coins on top. Next up is Morienza. Morienza is one of the teams that was a little bit more of a puzzle because also you need only 4 players from the team, so you have to figure out which other players you add to the team. So obviously, same strategy as before. Add Porto players, add Benfica players, add Sporting players. So you can see a Benfica player here, Sporting players a right back, and then basically a Benfica Porto midfielder just to fill up the squad with non-Morienza players. Let's submit this for a premium silver pack, and again 500 coins, just like we've seen before, basically the rewards. The next up is Nacional. Nacional, again, a full Nacional squad required here, so not a problem at all. Rating and chemistry shouldn't be an issue, especially for those teams that have gold players. Gold players pull up the rating quite a bit, so try to buy them because usually they're also quite cheap as compared to the silver players. Silver players, they increase in price quite a bit, but the gold players, they stay fairly constant. Next up is Pacos de Ferreira. We need 9 players from the club, so we can have 2 jokers from other teams, and in this case, in my case at least, it's a Benfica center back and a Porto striker, but the rest obviously full Pacos Ferreira players. Again, a 69 rating is required, but obviously just by using the Benfica center back, we pull it up a little bit more, but obviously having a higher rating is not a problem at all. And we get a premium silver players pack, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, indeed, premium silver players pack, and in this case, no coins on top. Next up is Rio Ave, and as you can see right there, we already did complete Benfica before, so just 16 challenges in this video. Rio Ave, basic squad needed, nothing fancy about this one. Let's quickly submit it, as there's nothing worth mentioning. We get another 2 rare gold players pack, plus in this case 2,000 coins, so that is obviously not too bad either. Sporting, basically the last big team that is remaining for me in this league. The rating that is required is a little bit higher. As you can see, 77 is the rating that you need to submit. We hit it right on the spot. We also hit the chemistry right on the spot. So that is obviously a perfect squad building challenge. And obviously, as these players are gold players, you pull these players constantly. So I didn't have to invest anything in this team. I just waited until I had the other teams completed until I submit this. We also get a premium gold players pack. So I think a 25,000 coin pack that is. And we have 3 teams left to complete. Tondela is next, another team where you can use basically a club hybrid. You need 9 players from Tondela and 2 players can be from other teams. I have a Braga left back, and let's see, I do also have a Porto striker for that team. Again, because you use a gold player and the majority is silver, rating, I think it was again a 69 rated squad, is not a problem, and we get a premium silver players pack. So one of the better rewards in this league. 2 more to go. Victoria Guimarães is not the last one, but the one before. We have another regular team, 11 players. As you can see, 4 being gold, so the rating not a problem here. And again, we have a 95 chemistry requirement. So as you can see, my goalkeeper is basically the joker, where I use a right midfield, just because we have that chemistry leeway in all of the challenges. The final pack before we come to the final team, before we get to the pack opening, is Vitoria Setúbal, the final team of the Liga NOS League Squad Building Challenge. Nothing special in here. We need 11 players from the club. 70 is the rating that is required, and as you can see, the majority is silver, and they usually hover around the 70 rating mark. Some are a little bit higher, some are a little bit below, but on average it shouldn't be a problem to get to the 70 rating for that team. So we complete that team as well, which should also mean that yes, indeed, we did complete Liga NOS. We are done with the Portuguese squad building challenge. So we get that Jonas card, 87 rated, not the fastest striker. He has decent shooting and decent passing, decent dribbling. Not sure if I'm using him, if I will use him. Currently, I use that special card Higuain from the Calcio A squad building challenge, and he is literally amazing, guys. Check him out if you have the chance. The Calcio A squad building challenge isn't too expensive because most of the players are gold. So you will have some of them in your club already, and even if you buy them, they did not increase in price that drastically. We also get 30,000 coins, which means, as I said before, our net investment was also only 13,000 coins. So that challenge was obviously worth it, even before opening the packs. But obviously, if we pull a decent player, that will add to the value as well. So 16 packs to go through. Obviously only 16 because we did complete Porto and Benfica before, but let's get started. Silver pack first, let's see what we get. Nothing special here, a player from the Turkish league. Other than that, anything else we can use? Not really. So we'll just send that to the club and send that player to the transfer list and discard the badge. Not the badge, the jersey from that, I think it was a Swiss team. Next up, a premium silver pack, actually 2 premium silver packs that we have to open, so 3 rare cards. Let's see what we get. We get a Turkish player. We already done with the Super League squad building challenge, and he is a duplicate as well. We get one of the Liga NOS players back, so that isn't too bad. Obviously now I'm totally empty in terms of Liga NOS players, so if there is a, let's say, marquee matchup coming up with I'm not sure if they still have teams in the European competition. I know that Benfica just lost against Dortmund, but if there is a marquee matchup coming up, I'm not prepared at all yet for the Portuguese teams because I just submitted all the players. One more silver pack, nothing special in here, so let's skip it fast. What do we get? We get a Calcio A player, but the rest, we get a rare fitness and healing card, which I think is not too bad. Especially the silver versions, and now we have the gold packs left. Are there still silver packs? There are still silver packs, so let's go with the silvers first. Silver premium players pack. Marco Reus on the pack. Let's see whether we can get a nice card. We get a Celta Vigo card, Sisto. That's not too bad. I don't think I have him yet, so that will be a nice addition indeed. And we also get another Liga Santander player, so these are 2 good cards to have for the La Liga squad building challenge. We also get a Ligue 1 player from Montpellier. Not too bad of a pack, guys. 3 players that are useful for the squad building challenges that I still have to do. Let's send those guys to the transfer list and move on to the next silver packs. Hopefully they are as good as the one we just opened. Let's see what it is. We get an Australian goalkeeper from the English league. Anything else in here that is useful? Beckerman, obviously, with the nice haircut. Pro League, we are done with the Pro League. We're done with the Eredivisie, done with the MLS. So currently nothing in here that is of immediate use for us. Those guys will definitely sell, at least the Japanese guy from the, I think he was from Ligue 1, so he will definitely sell. 2 more silver packs, and speaking of silver packs, I just did a video on my channel, so check that out if you're interested, where I opened 100 free silver packs. They are literally free, no coins needed, no players needed, basically no players need to go from your club in order to get those packs, so check that video out if you're interested, if you want to get free silver packs. Let's see what we have here. We have another Ligue 1 player from Lille, so that isn't too bad. The other leagues that are in here are not useful at the moment. There are players from the Chilean and the Colombian league, and one of these leagues I feel like might be coming up soon. We had an Asian league last, the Japanese one. We had a European league one, the Calcio A, but obviously the American leagues, apart from the MLS and the Liga Bancomer, I think they haven't been featured yet, so it might be coming up soon. Let's see what we're getting here. We get Parker from the, I think Vancouver is the team. We also got a Barcelona player. That's not too bad. Captum. Let's think how much he goes for. Silver players from from good teams usually go for quite a bit. He doesn't. Goes probably for 400, 500 coins. And obviously the Barcelona requirement is pretty high for that League Squad Building Challenge. So he won't be useful for the challenge. He might be useful though for individual marquee matchup games. And we also got another Celta Vigo player here for marquee matchups where you need to have one Barcelona player, for instance, and can fill the rest of the team with random players from La Liga. So I think we're done with the silver packs. Let's quickly check that. Yes, we're done. Let's see what we have. We have a gold pack, premium gold pack, premium gold pack, premium gold pack. Let's go with the 5 and 7.5k packs first, then move on to the 2-player packs, and then move on to the big one, the 25k pack, I think it is. We get Morrison from West Bromwich here. Nothing too crazy, but obviously a 5k pack. The chances of pulling something great are pretty small anyway. He is a duplicate, so he will land on the transfer list, and we will discard Miss Sosa, the leg trainer here in this case, and move on to the next pack. We have 3 7.5k packs, so the chance of picking something nice is a little bit better, and we get at least a rare player, the first gold rare player in this pack opening. We get Vilia, the Lazio center defensive mid. Let's see whether we can pull something amazing in terms of consumables. Not really. We get decent players though, like Calcio A, Liga NOS, Premier League players are always good to have, even if they're non-rare. You will use them eventually, so I will welcome them to the team. Miss Cow also has to go. Those cards, they don't really sell well on the transfer market, so I won't put them on the transfer list. 2 more 7.5k packs, and then the packs that should actually reward us with something nice for sure, because there's 2 rare players in those packs. Bastian Chipka from Frankfurt here. And obviously no rare player. We get another Liga NOS player back, so that isn't too bad. And also a rare fitness card, which will definitely sell. Let's send Ochipka to the transfer list, discard that Cameroon home kit, and move on to the final, I think it is, the final 7.5k pack. Yes, indeed, and then we have the better packs for last. We get a rare player here. He must be a duplicate though, so let's see who that is. We get a silver rare, which is obviously always a bummer. Apparently that was the flare for him, as we don't have any rare gold player in here, but we get another Montpellier player, so that isn't too bad for the Ligue 1 squad building challenge, which I might also do soon. I still yet have to do it, but obviously as we get those individual players, these clubs will fill up over time, so the investment required to complete the overall challenge to get that Lacazette special card, the investment shouldn't be too high anymore. We get a premium gold players pack and 4 2 rare gold players packs, so let's open those first. Now the team of the week is pretty decent, I would say, and I think there's also the special cards out there at the moment, the international man of the matches, so let's see whether we can pull any of them. 2 rare cards, no big flair though, but obviously rare cards always good to have. From Shakhtar Donetsk, we have Fred, the Brazilian midfielder, I think it was. And we also get a Victor Moses. I think I was pretty sure I had him in my team already, but apparently I don't. So let's add those boys to the club. 3 more of those packs remaining, 2 rare gold players packs. Again, no big player, but let's see whether the players are at least useful. We get Vasquez from Real Madrid. He is not really useful for the challenge though, and we also get a player from Liga Bancomer, so that is useful, guys. Hurtado from Tijuana, it is, the badge with the Pitbull, I think. Pretty aggressive badge. And obviously Vasquez. But the over requirement for Real Madrid is so high that you can't use those, let's say, average Real Madrid players to complete the challenge. You really need the A-rated guys. 2 more of those 2 rare gold players packs left, and then the main event, the premium gold players pack. First, let's try to get a bigger flare. Again, no big flare. What's that, guys? We get Slimani, I think it is. Yes, Slimani, 83 rated. That's a decent pull, though, even though it's not a big flare. 83 rated player is always good to have, particularly from one of those, from one of the better leagues, because they will be featured constantly. He is a duplicate, though, and we also get Fernandez from Atletico Madrid, so we will add him to the club and sell Slimani, and I hope it's tradable. Yes, it is tradable. Let's see how much he goes for. I think 2,000. Yeah, not 2,000. Not even 1,000. What the heck? I'll list him up later though. Send him to the transfer list first. But that's a decent pull. However, he doesn't go for much. 2 more packs to go. A 2 rare gold players pack is next, and then we have the premium gold players packs last. Again, no big flair, nothing to expect here. We get Falcao from AS Monaco. I already have him in the club. I know that for sure because I was looking at the Monaco challenge recently, but apparently I don't have him yet. Did he get an upgrade or something? Not sure why. I'll add him to the club anyway, obviously. And we also get from Marseille Venquier, also a challenge that I still yet have to complete, but the formation of that Marseille squad is pretty bad for a squad building challenge because you don't have right mids, left mids, so you basically need all the other midfielders, so they did increase in price a little bit. The final pack, guys, we did the Liga NOS squad building challenge. Let's see whether we can pull at least one decent player. We get 3 rare players though, so that's too bad. We get Matip, I think. Yes, we have Matip. I use him in my Premier League squad. Not too bad. I use him basically with Smalling and company in rotation, so that's why he is a duplicate for me. We also get Casillas, so at least 1 good Liga NOS players that we get back. We also get another Liga Santander player, not too bad. And another Liga player. So that is a pretty decent pack. Not the highest rated players that we pulled today, but obviously we did pull a handful of useful players for squad building challenges that I will do in the future. So I'm not sure if I do the Liga BBA one, but I tried to complete all the other squad building challenges that I still yet have to do. Let's send those boys to the transfer list, and then we're done. Actually, I don't want to discard them. Send them to the transfer list. I'll list them up later, but that's it, guys. We're done with the Liga NOS squad building challenge. We invested 43,000 coins to get 135,000 coins worth of rewards. Obviously, we did get that Jonas special card. We did get a bunch of coins back. We did get 16 packs. So overall, I think we definitely made profit. Not huge profit, but obviously it's the small things that count as well. Let me know in the comments down below whether you did that squad building challenge, and hopefully you did pack something better. But with that, guys, we're done with this video, and I will see you in the next one.